Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a fantastic day so far. Today, I want to talk about something that's dear to my heart, and that is really cultivating a deep sense of vision. The reason I'm talking about this is because sometimes I'm like to myself, do I genuinely believe in my vision? And better yet, what is my vision? What does that even mean? I mean, admittedly, usually I start talking about the technical definitions that exist with a vision, but if you're a consultant, contractor, coach, whatever it may be, there has to be something that is giving you reason for doing what you're saying. As the French say, d'autres raisons. I tried to put on a French accent. Okay. But your reason for being, what is that? I'm not going to get into the whole philosophy and psychology of all that stuff. I just want to hone in on what that specific thing means. Now, when I sort of like quit my 9 to 5 within the NHS, there was something that was driving me to do it. And I've described it as a deep feeling. That's how I've described it. I haven't described it any way else. I've described it as a deep feeling. And so, with that in mind, that feeling drove me to a position and place that caused me to act. Now, in some ways, you may argue that, there is a level of pain that I experienced, and there was a vision that I had for my future. But these were all feelings. I just knew I needed to get out of the situation. So sometimes negativity from your past can define what your direction looks like. But that still doesn't mean you have a vision because it may feel like you're just moving in this abyss, moving in this space with no real understanding of why you're doing it. You're just doing it, but it feels good. And so we're trying to articulate and quantify what that feeling is. Now, within the program management world, as you know, I'm a program manager within a contracting space, mainly for government departments and all that kind of stuff there. We learn of this thing known as a gap analysis. Some of you may know it as a blueprint. And essentially, within this space, within this gap analysis, what you're doing is you're trying to understand what the current situation is. Okay, so you're getting all this information, you're trying to work out from qualitative information and quantitative information what is happening now because you're trying to work out what is the actual problem. Okay, you know something's not right, but you need to make sure that that is valid in some way, shape, and form. Now, the next step to this is being clear about okay, what specifically does my intended or desired future look like? What do I want it to look like? And this may be sort of steered by what the current is saying and working out, okay, cool, it shouldn't look like this and it should look like this. It may be based on standards or strategies or policies or whatever it may be. Something is informing you to help you understand feeling wise and logically and all this other stuff to reference upon to help you understand what the desired future state looks like. And then finally, what we do is we try to understand what's in that gap. This is why it's called a gap analysis, because in that gap, you've got key performance indicators such as success metrics and all that kind of stuff there. You've got a plan and a strategy that you can develop. You've got values or design principles that you need to stick by. You've got all these different things that help inform you and help you understand what needs to be done. There's this thing that I've mentioned before called schemes. Okay, so it stands for, I believe it's systems, cash, helpers, equipment, materials, expertise, and there's something else. There's another S. I've forgotten what that S is. But the point be, I think it's space. That's it. The point being made is the current and the future will help you to understand what schemes are required for you to be successful so you can actually live out that specific desired future. Why am I saying all this stuff? What does this got to do with an organization, my vision, X, Y, and Z? I believe all change is a gap analysis. Every single transformation you've gone through, every single thing comes down to some sort of gap analysis. And I realized this early on, and I've been applying this everywhere I go. Every single where I go, whether I'm coaching somebody or consulting within the organization, it's a gap analysis. That's essentially what it is. And so, to help me understand this in a bit more detail, I've created an acronym around this stuff. And if you see me looking down, I'm referring to this is for those who are watching, I'm referring to a LinkedIn post that I posted today. So G stands for gather current information. So you're gathering all this information in your circle, whether it's speaking to your friends, family members, colleagues, whatever it may be. You're gathering intel, maybe you're even journaling to understand What is the issue? And you may be answering key questions, okay? They say questions are the answer. So prompt yourself to get the right information. And once you've gathered all this stuff, this could even be financial stuff as well, okay? Typically, as a coach, what I may do is use the pillars of mastery, which is a refined version of the wheel of life, and effectively assess different areas of my life as an example, okay? Then rather than moving to A, you would move to P, which is paint the picture of the future. You're doing a painting, okay? So based on the current, based on all that analysis you've done, what am I trying to paint? What does that look like? Okay. What does that feel like? How am I experiencing this? Who is there? All of these different things there. And if we go back to DA, we've got act on bridging the gap. You need to take action. So it's gather, act, and paint. But of course, you got gather first, you skip to the third one, which is paint, and then you move on act. So you can bring and bridge that gap. That's essentially how it works, in my world at least, anyway. Now, this seems very, very technical and everything else, but to really sort of like hone this down and give it meaning, this is the way I define a vision for me. So, if I'm focusing on painting the future, okay, if I'm focusing on the P, for me, it comes down to these four things, okay? What values do I want to live by day? What values? When we're thinking about values, we're thinking about things that are important to us, and we truly know what's important to us based on proxy experience or actual experience. What do I mean by proxy experience? Proxy experience is information that we've received from other people's experiences. Okay. And so that's what makes it a proxy thing. It's not actually ours, but somebody else's. Our actual experience is stuff that we've actually had. So, what things are important to me based on how I've lived my life, or based on things that I've observed, based on things that I've seen? That's the first thing. The second thing I start to think about is what types of people do I want in my life? Now, this all links with the values piece. The rest of them all links with the values piece because there are going to be people in your life that have annoyed you, pissed you off, been annoying. There are also going to be people who have been amazing, made you laugh, given you value, whatever value means to you. And so you can start to shape and really articulate what that means. I'm sure you're thinking of that person, whether that's John or Sarah, whoever it may be. You're thinking of someone who has pissed you off, or you're thinking of someone who just makes you smile, okay? They just pop up straight away in your mind. They're your confidence, they're your protectors, they've got your back, they're ride or dies. So think about the types of people that you want in your life. And for those business owners or consultants or coaches or whatever it may be, who are seeking those types of people, maybe that becomes your audience. Maybe those are the people that you're trying to draw out, because essentially they will connect with you based on values. I'm hoping you watching this connect with me based on your perception of me, my genuine perception that I'm sincerely trying to express through this video. Hopefully you connect with me that way as well. The third thing is, how do you want to experience and feel in life? Okay. So you're really describing the way you want to feel so that you can experience life with optimism, energy, vitality. This is really a health piece. So, what do you need to do in your life in order to kind of cultivate and shape this thing? Okay, this is all talking about vision here. And finally, what is the type of money I want to make, and how do I want to make it so I live the desired lifestyle I want to live? So that's really talking about, okay, how do I want to make my money? How much money do I need to make to afford a certain lifestyle? Those four things: values, relationships. I think the other one was centered around feeling and experience. And then there was also money. Those four things, those four key things are crucial for setting a vision, because for me, at least anyway, it gives me a sense of meaning. It's deep, it feels sincere, it feels connected, it feels aligned. Rather than, a vision statement needs to be a short statement that has some sort of metric and has whatever it is. Okay, I knew off by heart before, but I can't be bothered right now. This to me is vision setting, because it's connected to something greater than me, greater than my now. And so if you've been feeling lost, if you haven't had any sense of direction, This is a way you can do it because with each of these things, values can be linked to behaviors and behaviors can be linked to results. When it comes to the people that you want in your life, you can assess your life and start changing things accordingly depending upon what's happening there. If it's from a business standpoint, maybe you have to change your marketing or whatever it may be, your conversations that you're having with people. If it's your friends and family, maybe you have to have conversations with them. When it comes to experiencing life a certain way, okay, it may not just be a gym thing or a food thing. Maybe it's about the things that you actually do day to day. Maybe it's setting boundaries, whether that's at work, at home, whatever it may be. And finally, when it comes to the money you want to make, that's assessing your financials. Looking at your financial statement, thinking about how money comes in. Are there other ways to make money? What do you need to do now to get the promise tomorrow that you're looking for? It can be measured. Okay, so this is not some fluffy stuff. This is stuff that you can actually measure. And so hopefully this has given you some food for thought and something to go away with so you can feel confident moving forward into 2024 and beyond. Okay? If you want to see more videos like this centered around life management, portfolio careers, and just being an amazing human being, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And as always, my friends, understand, reach, and expand. Peace.